It's Tuesday, November 16, 2021 at about 10:30 in the morning. I'm Todd Dunn, and today I am in Bar Harbor. And I wanted to give you a look at Bar Harbor here in the middle of November. So let's take a look. Right now I'm in Agamont Park, and that's Main Street behind me. It's very windy today, and I'm currently standing behind a tree to keep the camera out of the wind. It's not working perfectly, so you're probably getting some wind noise. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and we're going to look at the harbor from behind this tree on the edge of Agamont Park. Okay, there's the harbor. That's the east end of Bar Island on the left, and then you can see some lobster boats out there. If you look closely, you can probably see some whitecaps on the water. It's blowing pretty hard from the west today. It's supposed to blow 35, 40 miles an hour. And I'm just gonna scoot in a little closer behind this tree to keep the camera out of the wind. So there's the harbor, and as you can see, all of the summer floats and everything are gone. All of the boats that take people out for day cruises on Frenchman Bay are gone. Matter of fact, most of them are over in Southwest Harbor right now at the Great Harbor Marina, where they will spend the winter. And we look down there, that's where the whale watchers dock. They're gone. So it's pretty quiet. And let's look up the other way. Here's the upper part of Agamont Park, and there's not much going on there. Still a few leaves left on some of the trees. And here's the lower part of Main Street, and as you can see, it's pretty quiet down here. There are a couple businesses that are still open, limited hours, but most things are closed for the season. Now, on the way into town, I passed a number of hotels and motels, and with one exception, they're all closed for the season. Okay, I'm going to walk over to the other side of Main Street and then go up the street because over there I will be out of the wind and it will be a little bit quieter. I'm now on the west side of Main Street looking down at the water. It's about 150 feet from me. And over here, the buildings are blocking the wind. And you can see it's pretty quiet here. I don't know if these restaurants are still open. It's hard to tell. I think they might be, but it's difficult to say. It's a little early for them to open. Here is a shop with an open sign, so I think they're still open. As we walk up Main Street, you can see one big change here. No parking meters. That's right. Parking is free now in Bar Harbor. And the town, as they usually do, has taken the parking meters out. So there's no chance that you could pay for parking, which is nice. Makes coming to Bar Harbor a lot more pleasant. And plenty of spaces available. I'm going to walk into the wind briefly. Okay, we're back out of the wind. And as you can see, businesses are closed for the season. So it's pretty quiet here in Bar Harbor, and not a lot of people visiting. More closed for the season as we continue up Main Street. I'm going to walk all the way up to the Village Green and show you what it looks like. One of the few businesses that stays open all year is Sherman's Bookstore, and along with the banks here in town. but most of the shops that cater to tourists are shut down. Okay, coming up to Cottage Street, I'm not going to talk because I'll be looking straight into the wind. Okay, thus I'd say here we are looking west up Cottage Street. It's not very busy. One thing that's noteworthy here is that if we look at license plates on cars, they're pretty much all from Maine. Now there are still a few tourists here on Mount Desert Island, but they're mostly here on the weekends, and they're what I would call regional tourists. In other words, they're from Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, with a very small percentage from, say, Rhode Island or maybe Connecticut. So pretty much New Englanders coming up here for a weekend. Here's a business that's open, 50% off on everything. And overall, pretty quiet. I just walked by another business that was still open. They had a big 50% off on everything sign in the window. And there are a few other businesses that are open, but they're mostly catering to the local population. And they are also mostly businesses that are staffed by the owners. So I've seen a car from Massachusetts, so still a few tourists here, but not many. Okay, just a little bit more to go to get to the Village Green. And we will have a look at the Village Green, and then I will stop this part of today's video about Bar Harbor. So one of the things, if you do come here this time of year, the weather is still pretty good, although it's windy and a little chilly today. It's 40 degrees. And I'm going to walk over to the Village Green in a second, but I'll be in the wind. So I'll say that the biggest problem coming here right now is there aren't a lot of places to stay. Very few hotels are still open. All of the campgrounds are closed, and almost all of the restaurants are closed. So you're gonna have trouble finding a place to stay and trouble finding a place to eat. The main places that are still open for lodging are, individual houses that rent via the online services. And, some of those are still open and you can get a place to stay there. But things are definitely quieted down from a couple of months ago. Okay, I'm going to head out into the Village Green. So it's going to get kind of windy. The wind is swirling around. Leaves are blowing around. Still a few leaves on the trees here in the Village Green, but they won't be here for long. And you can see it's pretty crowded. And if I look around, there's one person walking down the street up there. Should come, there he is, coming into view. And one other person walking across the Village Green. So it is chilly today, 40 degrees and windy. But if you're out of the wind, it's still quite pleasant. So this is the Village Green. And I'm going to end this segment right here and head back down to my car. Well, I just pulled out of my parking space here on Lower Main Street, and you can look out at the harbor. And I think if you look, you can see all the white caps because it's blowing down here and it is chilly with the wind. And I am now going to drive out West Street past all of the waterfront hotels here. And pretty much everything here along West Street is closed for the season. It's pretty quiet here. And the town is finally quieted down after what is pretty much agreed by everybody to have been the busiest tourist season ever in Bar Harbor, with the largest number of tourists here. So it has been a hectic summer, and for those of us that live here, this is the time of year that we kind of wait for. Okay, I'm just going to go down here another block or so, and then I'm going to turn and head up to the supermarket. So I just thought I'd show you Bar Harbor in the middle of November 2021 to let you know just what it's like here. And this time of year, it's a beautiful day except for the wind, and very nice to have the island kind of back to the locals, which is a big change from what it's been like all summer. So I'll say, if you liked the video, this little look at Bar Harbor on November 16, 2021, please give me a thumbs up. That'll help with my visibility on YouTube. And if you haven't, I'd like you to consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to be traveling around the island quite a bit over the next couple of months as winter approaches, and you can watch the changes in the area as we go from late fall to winter here on Mount Desert Island. Okay, thanks for watching.